What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Scouting Combine. Here, I am your host, Hussam Patel, and my co-host, Alfredo Arteaga from 3 Yards Per Carry. Alf, how we doing today?
Great. Good mood. Big game this week.
Very big game indeed, and it looks like the Dolphins may be getting some key reinforcements for this game. A la Robert Hunt, Teron Armstead. Is there a possibility River Craycraft could be coming off of IR?
I'm not so sure on that one. Okay, I'm not so sure on River Craycraft. Robert Hunt, I think we're waiting on Friday because he was a DMP today. Although some saw him stretching and doing some running exercises, which is a good sign to see for somebody that's coming off a hamstring injury. Teron Armstead opened the week practicing, so his window is now open as well. I do expect Connor Williams to play. Okay, after a brief absence. Like that's one that I do expect to play, and Xavier Howard is essentially confirmed to play. So you're gonna have a complete secondary for the first time this season.
And that's crazy because the Dolphins are 6-2 on the season with, their main contributors being out for more than 4 to 5 games at a time. They have a healthy Jalen Ramsey back. They'll have a healthy X, and for the first time you're going to be seeing Javon Holland, Jalen Ramsey, and Xavier Howard share the field together, especially up against a Chiefs offense who is built on Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Just, that duo, is pretty good. And, nobody has really seen Xavier Howard, Javon Holland, and Xavier Howard together on the field. No NFL offense has seen them on tape. So it's going to be very, very new and very, very interesting. Now, before we get into the all 22 of the Dolphins and the New England Patriots, this show is brought to you by NFL Game Pass. You guys can go ahead and click the link on the YouTube channel to take you over to NFL Game Pass and NFL Plus if you guys have not signed up yet for it. It's $6.99 regular, $12.99 premium. You can watch the Dolphins versus Chiefs game on NFL Network on Sunday, November 5th at 9:30 a.m. and also stream NFL Network live with NFL Plus. And you should be able to watch the game on NFL Plus and NFL Game Pass, Dolphins versus Chiefs, 9:30 a.m. in Frankfurt, Germany. How about that, Alf? Sponsored by NFL Game Pass. That's a new one, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that they're now a sponsor of this show.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, we use their clips. Like, I get the clips from NFL Plus, from NFL Game Pass, and go ahead and share it with you guys. So it's gonna be a fun one, and I put it up on my Twitter as well. We'll go ahead and talk about some of the clips that we'll be seeing over here. We have 3 offensive clips, 3 defensive clips over here. Right here, Alf, 4th and 1. We always see this play. By the way, are you able to see this play
Yeah.
uh, on the screen? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
perfect. 4th and 1 right here. We see Tyreek Hill get into motion. The Dolphins are in what looks like their 21 personnel set, I believe. It looks like, nope, it looks like it's 11 personnel over there. It's Durham Smythe as the tight end. You have Braxton Berrios, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. For the running back, I believe you have Jeff Wilson in the game right now. So right here, Tyreek Hill is going to motion, and this defensive back right here, number 31, is going to follow Tyreek Hill across the motion point. We'll go ahead and see it right here. I'm sorry, not number 31, number 27 right here, which is going to be Miles Bryant. So Miles Bryant is going to follow Tyreek Hill. And it looks like initially there was a miscommunication by the defense right here on a crucial 4th down. It's 4th and 1. So we're going to see Miles Bryant cover Tyreek Hill, and he follows him with the motion. Now, I'll explain a little bit of these motion rules right here for the New England Patriots defense. When an offense motion, what Bill Belichick really likes, like what he does to gain leverage with the motion, is he changes his fronts. So this looks like I want to say an overfront. Am I correct, Alf?
Mm-hmm.
So this is an overfront. So to gain leverage, the defense switches over to an underfront to make sure they have enough people to cover the motion where they think the ball will be going. So we'll go ahead and see the defense change. Doesn't look like there's that much change over here, Alf. What do you think it could be?
Yeah, and by the way, that's just a structure of a defense. And whenever you see a defense, to educate our viewers a little bit here, whenever you see a defense shift because there's a motion, they're not shifting because they think that that's where the play is going. They're shifting because the offense is gaining leverage on them by motioning people. So what they're doing is they're trying to shift the guy outside of the leverage so they have their pursuit lanes opened up. No defense ever wants to get leverage just by numbers. And Miami constantly, all game, tries to gain leverage by numbers in the run game and in the passing game.
Right. So right here, simple 4th and 1. This was actually a really, really great throw that I liked, and I'll go ahead and explain it as well. So as Miles Bryant follows Tyreek Hill, we're going to see this defensive back change his leverage as well. And we talked about it in previous shows. We've seen how Miami loves to use Tyreek Hill in the motion to gain leverage and to gain numbers on the offense itself. What's happening now is NFL defenses, they're taking their outside cornerback and they're shifting him a little bit over to the sideline to make sure they don't get beat vertical as well. They want to make sure they gain that inside leverage as well. And any throw that needs to be made can go on the outside towards the sideline. So that way the sideline acts as an extra barrier, as an extra defender right here. We're going to take a look at this defensive back right here. And Alf, if you want to explain a little bit more, go ahead.
No, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Like they're trying to keep the integrity of their defense, and they passed them off actually pretty well. Like it's pretty good communication, and they passed them off pretty well as far as making sure that they don't leave a wide open man. So it's
Right.
well executed, but it's just a great throw. It's a great throw and good execution by the Dolphins and pretty much everybody involved on
And and
offense.
and and here's where the motion point comes into play. Because this defensive back right here, he knows Tyreek Hill is going to be going vertical right here. So he's going to be taking Tyreek Hill. This leaves this space open because this defender is following, and his assignment is now Waddle. Now the defender, he gets into conflict. He needs to see where Waddle's going to be going. Boom, right there. Waddle has a free release, right? He's got a free release. You can't give these wide receivers a free release. These two guys, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, are fantastic route runners. Jalen Waddle is looking at Miles Bryant and he's like, dude, I've got the leverage right here. Miles Bryant is hesitant because he needs to see where Waddle goes. Now, Waddle sees this and he's going to drift a little bit over right here to gain leverage. And Tua sees it, sees the defender in conflict. Waddle is wide open, free release. He's like, okay, this is going to be a back shoulder throw here where only Jalen Waddle can make the play at the catch point. Miles Bryant doesn't have any space to even make a play on the ball, and we'll see it on the other view over here as well. Alf, when you watched this play in real time, what were your thoughts?
When I watched it in real time, I thought it was just a great read by Tua as far as leverage. But then when because remember when you're watching it in real time, you're watching it in the broadcast. You don't have the all-22 view, so you don't see what's going on behind it. But
Yeah,
when I saw it, I thought it was just a really good read from Tua to Waddle, but it was actually the design. And yeah, the throw was really good, but actually the throw is actually the worst part about this entire play, you know. So it was really well executed, and like I said, I don't think that there's a mistake made by anybody on the field here. I think the Patriots actually passed this off perfectly. It's actually covered well,
and you have
and
you have another read right here too. You have Dermot Smythe in the flat. He's got space as well to gain some yards.
yeah, it's a really good design. It's a really
Right
good
here.
design. Like I said, it's well played by all involved. Literally nobody made a mistake on this play, but Dolphins players were just better on the play.
All right. We talked about this play on our last show right here, and the Dolphins really, really love to use this concept, especially on end arounds. And look, the Mike McDaniel is very cognizant in what he calls, and he calls plays to set up other plays. And Alf, you've talked about it. The Dolphins are running the ball a lot because they're trying to set up a couple of shot plays later on in the season. Big plays that they need if they're down by 7 points or 10 points, or if they just need a really quick score as well. We saw this play in the Carolina game, and we'll go back to the Patriots game on this one as well. Tua takes the deep shot over here, and Durham Smythe right here is going to be the motion man, and he's going to have an end around play right here. Usually, when Durham Smythe or Braxton Berrios is doing an end around, they act as an extra blocker in the run game right here. So you're going to see Durham Smythe motion around. He's going to act as a fake blocker, but instead it's going to be a pass play to Jalen Waddle where Tua takes the deep shot.
Yeah, and you got to understand that's a key. While Durham Smythe does that orbit motion, right, and we could run it, and I'll tell you where to stop it. Like you stop it right there, like that's going to hold the safety.
Right here.
Okay. It's going to hold the safety because he's seeing that run action, and that's just going to open up space for our receivers to get on top of the safety. And if you're not into your back pedal and you're flat-footed, there's an example in our game against the Patriots, the touchdown to Tyreek. There's an extreme example of that, of a run action absolutely freezing a safety and making it possible
And this
for
is
the
the
play to be
touchdown.
completed.
This is the touchdown right here, actually.
Yeah, and I want you to see the safety right there on the hash. Look at the safety on the hash, okay? And I want you to watch as you can run the play, and I'll tell you when to stop it. Okay?
It's a similar play, different
Okay, now
formation.
stop it. You see it? At that mesh point, look at the safety right there. Look where his feet are. You can
Run the
run it.
orbit motion.
Look at the mesh and look at his feet. You see his feet? He takes a step in and he essentially gets himself out of position. Now keep it going. Here's where he decided to start getting deep. And you could rewind it back. Let it go. Stop it. Stop it. Go back a little bit. Right there. There is where he decides to start getting deep, and he has Tyreek already on top of him. He's beat deep. And it was all because of that little mesh point. The little mesh point on the end around completely froze the safety enough for Tyreek to get on top of him. And people were, oh, he just ran through bracketed coverage. No, he did not run through bracketed coverage. What he did was, it was a great play action fake that froze that safety to get Tyreek to run past the corner.
So
And
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Alf. Justin Reed commented saying that you need to play these wide receivers physically. You need to get them off their timing, obviously. But we haven't really seen a team get very, very physical with these wide receivers where this offense is just completely broken overall. Like we saw it last season in the Chargers game. We saw a similar taste of it up against the Eagles, but the Dolphins offense was still, scoring some points and, gaining yards. There's a lot of talk about trying to use cloud coverage on Tyreek Hill. Can this Chiefs defense actually try to slow this offense down?
well, they're gonna have to change their stripes to do it. If they're gonna play true to what they've done all year, I don't believe they can, because they play a lot of man coverage, they play a lot of shell, a lot of two deep shell coverage, and some of that is going to be susceptible to these run actions that they do not see every day. They do not have it on film too much, because let's face it, the Chiefs don't play the Dolphins that often. And trust me, that's a huge advantage for the Dolphins. The first time any defense lines up against this offense, it's going to be a culture shock. And people are going, oh yeah, but what about the Eagles? Well, the Eagles were down here last year for joint practices, and they got to see this thing for an entire day. So they got a pretty hefty dose of it. Plus, they got banks and banks of information on the Shanahan offense. And if you've watched the San Francisco 49ers this year, they're trying to emulate every single bit of all of this stuff that Miami's doing. So you could see how Philadelphia's gone to school a bit on this. The Chiefs haven't. And the Chiefs are going to see things for the first time on Sunday that they haven't seen all year. And I think that's to a huge advantage for the Miami Dolphins.
All right, this is going to be the last offensive clips of the show right here. Chris Kaufman, CK Pair on Twitter, one of the Godfathers members of the 3 Arts per carry, and OnlyFans on Discord. By the way, it's $3.99 or $2.99 a month, man.
$2.99. It's $3 a month.
$3 a month. Go ahead, check it out. OnlyFans on Discord. Go ahead, check it out on Twitter as well. He tweeted out that Chase Claypool did some good work for the Dolphins on Sunday. Tremendous key block on a crucial fourth and short screen to Tyreek Hill, which is the play right here. In a nice play after the catch on his lone reception. As a Dolphin, he's on his way to earning regular duties. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. He's a good blocker, man. And he's a good positional blocker as well. Not only is he a willing blocker, but he's strong. And you saw it on his one reception. On his one reception of the day, he was trying to run over safeties. That's going to be that's going to be really, really, that's going to be a welcome sight for this offense. A little bit more physicality. And Chris Kaufman said something that was really interesting. I wanted to see him working in the slot and working off the sticks and working in line even. He wants to see him out wide with his deep passing game. And I tend to agree. He could get on top of a corner, and he's not going to get any attention, really.
He's got, 4.4 speed, right?
Yeah. So, and it's at 6'4", 240 pounds, essentially.
I think there was a play earlier on in this game where Tua was getting rushed a little bit quickly, and he threw to Mostert or Wilson in the flat. And if he had waited just a little bit, he had Claypool for a 90-yard touchdown.
Yes.
Straight vertical. If I had that play, I would show it, but for the sake of time, I do not. So right here, 4th and 1. Dolphins run a lot of tunnel screens right here. Out wide, 4th and 1 again, near the goal line. The Patriots are here on their eagle front. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 defensive backs. Linebacker, linebacker, linebacker right here. By the way, you have a linebacker here. I think that's Jelani Tavai covering Raheem Mostert. That is an instant mismatch. But this, for the sake of the play, this is a screenplay right here. You're going to see Tyreek Hill walk back right here, and you're going to see Durham Smythe and Chase Claypool make these blocks. It's going to be a very, very...
Well, they're in an eagle front, so Tavai's coming off the edge, and they're playing match man on that side of the formation because it's on the play side. So they're match man on the play side, and Tavai's coming off the edge. He's basically declared at that point, and that linebacker as well is also declared. So Tua knows two things right here. He has numbers to the field side, and the field is open to the play side. So there's a couple of advantages here. The only problem is he knows that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 unaccounted for guys, and not unaccounted for, but 6 potential rushers, and there's actually 3 uncovered. So there's a potential for 3 free blitzers on this play. So he knows what he has. He has numbers to the field side and space to the play side. He just has to be very, very fast with this because the pressure's coming.
Very fast, right there. Boom.
And you see, they all came. You see?
Now look at this block by Chase Claypool, man. Dude, right. Gets straight to the defender, and it's like guaranteed 1 yard for Tyreek Hill right here. You see Kendall Lamb also make this block on this defender. Tyreek Hill basically gets tripped up. Money play right there to get some short yards. Money play right there. All right, on to the defense. We got to talk about this Jalen Ramsey interception, man. We got to talk about how Jalen Ramsey read this play through and through. He's an expert playing in zone coverage, has played it most of his career, especially within the Fangio system. He's basically going to be watching what Mac Jones is doing. He's looking at him for most of the play right here. He knows where Mac Jones wants to place the ball. So we'll go ahead and run the play right here.
Yeah, and you could stop it right here, so I could explain a little bit. I did this play also on film study on OnlyFans. They're gonna run that little orbit motion with
Demario
Robinson.
Douglas.
It's with Douglas, right?
I think it's Douglas, Demario
Yeah.
Douglas.
And they're going to fake the smoke, and then they're going to throw the semi-wheel, the slot wheel, to the field side.
It's
Now,
gonna be a post route by Parker and a wheel
right,
route right here.
right. Now, what they're counting on is for the rules that we know as far as cover 6, for us to stay absolutely true to them. Now, we know for a fact on the field side, the corner, the boundary corner, has to carry the man at least until the intermediate
Right
area
here. Around right here.
before, actually a little deeper than that, about the 10-yard line, before he can
Right
roll
here.
up 5 yards to take that flat, right?
Right here.
And he has to pass him off to the safety. The thing is, you got to be quick with that whole shot. And Ramsey sees it coming because he spots the wheel. And you could see it right away because of the leverage he's playing. He spots the wheel and he says, I get this. I'm coming off of my man, and I'm coming off of my man as fast as I can. As you can see, he's looking at the wheel. He sees the wheel,
Stop.
and you can see he's going to peel off, and he does
Ball
peel off.
thrown. Hip switch right here. He knows he has a safety help right here on this post coming. Boom. Pick.
And he should have scored, by the way.
Yeah, could have been a pick 6. Or run the play one more time. In motion. There's the fake smoke. Devontae Parker on the post. Slot wheel. Could not make the whole shot. Couldn't make the whole shot right there, Alf.
No, it has to be too strong of a. You have to make a strong throw right there, and it has to be on time. He was a tad bit late and not strong enough. Just not strong enough.
All right.
All right. This is one of the clips that I brought up, and I talked about this on OnlyFans on my film study, and I asked, why would I bring up something that is the most vanilla thing possible? Well, because as you can see that I'm writing right here, I'm writing about the rules as far as what you got to do in what is essentially just match man, and it's cover 6. Both linebackers have the back to either side. The
He's
back,
right here.
which is Ramondre Stevenson. So the back, and I'm writing it right there. Both linebackers have them. If Ramondre Stevenson goes to the left, then that linebacker has to pick him up in the flat. If he goes to the right, then this linebacker picks him up to the flat. And whoever's left over has to carry the middle with the safety to deny any mesh concept, and he has to get outside of the hash. Okay? But what the Dolphins did is that in this game, you could pause this for a second. Pause it for a second. Okay. What the Dolphins did in this is, since they were playing so much split coverage all day and so much cloud coverage all day, they decided what would happen if we went completely vanilla but showed the same alignment. And what would happen is that Mac Jones essentially melted down because Mac Jones started seeing ghosts. He started seeing things that were not there. The Dolphins essentially just went out there in match man. It's basically a backyard defense. Okay, you could draw it up in the dirt, and Mac Jones kept trying to look off things that weren't there, and it completely threw him off. This was perfectly executed, and it was actually pretty fun to see because I was thinking, why would they do this? Is this a prevent? And I'm saying, no, it's not. It's not a prevent what they're doing. What they're doing is they're actually fooling Mac Jones by going vanilla at this point. Now it's man coverage, and he's thinking it's back to those same cloud coverages he saw earlier, and it completely throws him off. And as soon as it throws him off for half a second, it allows for the pass rush to get there.
So now how do you do this against Patrick Mahomes? Do you play very vanilla as well? Do you show the clouds? Do you show the different coverages in the first half, and then do you play match man in the second half? What do you do?
Well, what happens on this play is that because of the alignment, the Patriots, and you could pause it right here, the Patriots essentially get the Dolphins to declare they're in this match, this match man coverage. So Mac Jones immediately understands, okay, this is match man, and they have a tight end, which is Farrell Brown, completely uncovered in line, which forces us to drop down Deshaun Elliott, and now we have to go single high. Okay. But it's match man across the board, but it's just pre-snap. It's a second before the ball is snapped when the Patriots get the news.
Mhm.
So you got to have a plan for that. Usually, Kansas City's plan for that is to throw hot to Travis Kelsey. And as of late, Rashid Rice has been getting a lot of duties in the slot. So he's been actually pretty good playing out of the slot. So, how do you do it against Patrick Mahomes? Being vanilla against Patrick Mahomes is usually a pretty good idea because, for the most part, you're not going to fool him and he's going to try to buy some time. So you're going to have to get there. You're never really going to fool Patrick Mahomes too much. You just have to get there with your pass rush and you have to be
Something you don't see every
extremely
day.
disciplined.
I'm gonna do a chalk talk on one of.
Oh, you could hear me. You could.
Yeah.
Uh, Here, that first play was the same thing. Here, they're actually declared completely across the board in match man, and Mac Jones actually knows it at this point, but the pass rush just gets there. And I was just explaining how they played this coverage across the board, and it's essentially a backyard defense. And you can see how they trail every single receiver, and then they allow the play side safety to drive on everything across the field, and then the field side safety has to get deep. And Mac Jones just couldn't handle it.
That's what? 2-4-5 defense right there. Is that looks like Deshaun Elliott? No, I'm sorry. That's Nick. That's Bradley Chubb right there. Yeah, pressure
As you
gets
can
there.
see,
Everyone's
as you
covered.
can see, Deshaun Elliott is playing his robber role because he's trying to take away Mike Gesicki. You see it?
Yep.
So they bracket Mike Gesicki, and then they have a deep man, essentially playing center field in Brandon Jones. But we're playing very soft coverage. We're just trying to, just get deep. Remember, we're protecting at this point the sticks and a two touchdown lead, and we allow the pass rush to get there. Great pass rush by Jalen Phillips here.
So how does this Dolphins defense slow/stop Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey?
The
Is
good news
Jalen
is that we have the right guy to do it in Vic Fangio. He's had success against Patrick Mahomes before. The way he's traditionally done it, he's played very soft coverages behind some pressure 5 and sending 4, very similar to what the Dolphins have been doing. Very little, very, very little match man. He plays a lot of under coverages against Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes is very good at taking profit in the passing game. So you're going to see a lot of under coverages. You're going to see some too deep for sure. And I would expect Jalen Ramsey to roam in this game on Sunday. I would expect Jalen Ramsey to play almost in a linebacker role. So yeah, I do expect some differences, and because we've seen it before. And most people ask, how do you stop Patrick Mahomes? You got to keep them off schedule to start off with. He's too good to be in 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2 all day. Okay. So you got to stop the run. Isaiah Pacheco is going to be extremely important. If you stop the run and you force 3rd and long, you could get your pass rush after him. And then you just got to be really disciplined in how you rush him. Because
Isn't that the same story as this Dolphins offense as well? You get them off schedule, you stop the run, and you force them into 3rd and longs.
Yes, absolutely. The big difference is that the Dolphins have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and the Chiefs don't.
The Chiefs have
Kelsey,
Marquez Valdez-Scantling as their number 1 wide receiver, and Travis Kelsey.
Yes. So it's more. So the Dolphins can overcome being a little bit off schedule.
So Paris Stevens goes, I don't think Ramsey will roam. He locks down the whole side of the field. If extra Apple on the other side, we are fine. The problem is not the wide receivers, Parrish. It's Travis Kelsey.
Yeah, you don't want to waste Jalen Ramsey on Sky Moore. It's as simple as that.
You don't want him. You don't want him on Mecole Hardman.
Yes.
Either.
Right. you want to use him on their best players. So, if you have him moving inside of the tackle box, you could have him on Rashee Rice in the slot, and you could have him on Travis Kelce one-on-one.
All right, Alf, thank you so much. Once again, this show is brought to you by NFL Plus and NFL Game Pass. Make sure you guys watch the Dolphins versus Chief game on NFL Network on Sunday, November 5th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you don't have NFL Network on your cable, you can go ahead, subscribe to NFL Plus and NFL Game Pass, and watch the game on your mobile phone, on your laptop, on your TV as well if you have NFL Plus on your smart TV. You can go ahead and watch the Dolphins Chiefs on NFL Plus and NFL Game Pass. Alf, before we go, what's your score prediction for this game?
I think that this game is going to be played in the 20s. Okay. A lot of people are thinking, oh, it's going to be played in the 30s and the 40s. I don't believe so. I think it'll be played in the 20s. I got Miami winning 27-24 with a late touchdown.
Late touchdown. Not a Jason Sanders kick, huh?
No, a late touchdown.
A late touchdown. I think this game is going to come down to the trench play. This Chiefs defensive line has George Karlaftis and Chris Jones. The Dolphins have not had Connor Williams play the last two games. He could be a little bit rusty, may not be, and Teron Armstead may be coming back as a starting left tackle. Robert Hunt coming off an injury as well, so that's going to be the biggest key of the game. Not any narratives that Tyreek Hill is playing the Chiefs again. I think the story is going to be this offensive line. And if this line holds up, I think the Dolphins have a very real chance of winning. And I'm going to say 31-27.
All right. We kind of see it kind of eye to eye.
Kind of eye to eye. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining the Scouting Combine here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Fins up, everybody.